Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Colorado Rockies. In our last episode, we concluded an off-season of change and new acquisitions. Let's break that down before we get into everything. So we're going to look at the roster review. I think it's just easier to look at the team and this view here. This helps me remember who we had. So Brian McMahon and Brent Doyle are old friends. So we've had them now for each of our 3 seasons with the club. Actually, 2 seasons. This is our 2nd season. That's wild. That's really wild. Anyway. Sean Bouchard is an old friend. Tovares. Toglia. Our first new player is RJ Schreck. We acquired him in a trade with the Toronto Blue Jays. And he fits our bill, right? Remember, we can't have players that didn't play in the major, that played for another major league team. He never has. He has been major leagueless. We gave up Ryan Ritter for him. So we will see if he can be a helpful player. Romo is old. Prado is also new. Prado was part of a trade. He's our new starting second baseman, which I wasn't expecting to replace. But we will see if Amador flourishes a little bit more in a utility role. And then Yanquiel Fernandez is somebody who played for us last year. This is a big platoon season. We have platoons at DH. We have platoons in left field. I guess it's just the 2 platoons. Jordan Beck is back from last season, where he didn't play a huge amount, but he did play some. And then Hunter Goodman is going to get some reps as a DH. Hunter Goodman is quite legitimately a pretty decent hitter. There may be a not too distant future where he shifts full-time from being a catcher to being an outfielder. But for right now, he's a perfectly adequate backup catcher, and if he can also play DH and fill in the outfield, that works for me. So, Zach Veen is back. We'll see how he does, and we'll go from there. So, pitching, I've got a new ace in an unexpected place. We grabbed an ace in the Rule 5 draft. I'm not saying he's a traditional ace. I'm not saying he is an amazing pitcher, but I am saying that he is competent. And letting him figure his shit out in the starters can only benefit us. This isn't a buy low situation. This is a buy none situation. We're spending very little to experiment with him as our ace. Chase Dollander, after an uninspired season in the bullpen, is getting the chance to start every 5 days. He is on the cusp of great things. He just needs to develop his pitches. This is, in a lot of ways, a very excellent pitcher. He just needs a little bit of help. He needs to work on his mechanics and especially develop his pitches further. I think he's fine. And let me put it to you this way. The number one criteria to become a starting pitcher for the Colorado Rockies is, 1, you can throw a baseball 100 times or so every 5 days. That's it. That's all I care about. We're not in a position to be picky or choosy about who our starters are at this stage. Tyler Herb returns, a pretty nice minor league signing from last year. He's certainly not perfect, but I think he is a nice rotation filler. He's also incredibly cheap, and this is not a small thing. Ryan Feltner and Kyle Freeland are both long-term Rockies, been around for a while. But this is probably it for Kyle Freeland. If somebody wants him, I will happily trade him. Angel Chavilli is back. Jeff Criswell is back. Jaden Hill is back. Gabriel Hughes is back. Carson Palmquist is new. He was already in our system, but we have added him. Ryan Smith was a free agent signing. He's not very good, to be perfectly honest with you, but he is alive. Yes. Victor Vodnik and Anthony Molina are both old friends. Um, this is not a team that's great at pitching, but we're also playing in Coors Field, which, if you didn't know, has one of the more extreme park factors in the major leagues. Um, we just have to accept that. We have to accept that's what's going on here. We have to basically make the best offense we possibly can, and then hope our pitchers are just good enough, just skilled enough that we don't have to worry too much about it. I wouldn't mind replacing Ryan Smythe after seeing his relative lack of skill, but I'm also not going to rush him. Edgar Isaiah, you have one job. This has to get better. I don't normally mess with development this directly, but work a little bit less on movement, please. I want you to work exclusively on control. If you can get your control up to being even acceptable, then we're going to be in decent shape. You don't get along with the team very well. Oh, it's because you're in AAA. That's fine. Charlie Condon. This is probably his last year in the minor leagues. Had he obliterated AAA last season, I think I'd be more comfortable calling him up. As it is right now, we're going to let him cook in the minor leagues. I think one of the best things about him is he doesn't have a very significant platoon split, which means we could play him every day. Whether that's at first base, whether that's in the outfield, who knows. But for now, Michael Toglia will give us enough to show that he can baseball. I really do not like Ryan Smith. But one thing I do like about it is I like his control. And I don't have a lot of pitchers with good control in the minors. I mean, I guess we have Marcelo Martinez. You know what, Ryan Smith? I'd rather have Marcelo Martinez. He's just a better pitcher than you are. Sorry, mate. Sorry, bro. Minor leagues are going good. Where are we ranked right now, I wonder? I wonder. Okay. I won't do that again. Let me minor league system rankings, which is under reports and info. We're the fourth best, mostly thanks to Sal Delgado, our big international free agent. Huge hopes for him. Huge hopes. Extreme development risk means he's certainly not a sure thing, but if he does develop in a reasonable way, whoa, what an amazing player we have. So we need to keep building up our farm system strength, though. We're still a long ways away from being consistently competitive, and we want to just spend as much time as we can building a strong, deep farm system. Because with the rules in place with our save here, we have to be ready to rely heavily on the minor leagues. We did end up getting German Marquez, which is pretty exciting. He signed for basically nothing, and he is by far and away a more trustworthy starter than, I don't know, most people. So who do we send down for him? Does anybody at all want Kyle Freeland? One single solitary soul. Does anybody want him? What if I ate 50% of his salary? What if I ate 75% of his salary? I don't really want to spend this much on him, but it's better than spending 100% of his salary, right? What if I eat his entire salary? This is genuinely not advised, but I get a couple of advantages by doing this. First of all, I get his roster spot, which is what I most want. And second of all, I could get a prospect out of it. Maybe. Unless people just keep telling me to go fuck myself. Which is what happens, which is fine. Would he take a demotion? He will not. Concerning. I think Jeff Criswell can go back to the minor leagues. I think that's reasonable, and then we can call up Marquez, and we can put Freeland back in the bullpen. Yeah. Now, this version of Marquez isn't obviously going to be here forever, but he is an incredibly cheap starting pitcher who's had a lot of success with the Rockies, and he's got a pretty strong arm. So I feel reasonably good about bringing him back on the cheap. Let's keep going in time. Okay, 3 people have all cleared waivers, which is fine with me. Oh. Do you have a Major League contract? You do have a Major League contract. Did I genuinely acquire you? I don't remember that. Oh, you were injured. I don't like you. Pain. Marcelo Martinez, I guess you have to go because I have to play this jerk. Even though he is Tisuxor. Kyle Glogowski, I'd like you to go away, please. You know what, Antonio? You're as good as anybody else at occasionally throwing baseballs, so you can have that role. It's fine. And then we just instantly opt out of his contract. Like, there is under no circumstances are we going to accept his. Are we going to execute his option? He's getting bought at, whether he likes it or not. Yeah. Brahan's Burrito. That's a pretty incredible name. I'm not going to lie to you. There's some nice improvements here. Also, some players that aren't getting better, which is a little more disappointing. Mason Albright is getting better. I think there is a certain tendency to think, oh, this player is a 30 overall, therefore they're worthless. That's by and large true, but it's certainly not. Man. Bummer. But that's certainly not a death sentence. Malachi Witherspoon, you fucking potato. You had a really good chance to be somebody, and then you're just like, what if I just sucked? And so, what if that happened? I mean, he can always bounce back, right? Like, there's always a chance that he figures it out again. He does still have talent, but... concerning. But anyways, yeah, just because a player is only a 30-something overall doesn't mean that they're worthless. It means that they're very limited, and you need to find a good way to get the most out of him. But it certainly doesn't mean that they're doomed. There's always a chance that they can develop a skill, or that they can fill a need, even if they aren't have like the 80 rank or whatever. Because this is not realistic. Nobody has that much talent in their major league system. Let's get through the first month of the season. Let's see how the Rockies... Oh, I'm over the limit? Albuquerque. You have 3 too many people. Okay. I'm going to send the 3 of you down to AA. Because I have the roster space. Yep. One thing you want to avoid, and it's something I should be doing in the White Sox series that I always forget about, is you don't want to have too many people in the rookie league. Because it's already short season ball to begin with, you want to make sure that you are spending the appropriate amount of time evaluating those players and cutting them if they're useless. player, Kyle Glogowski, is fine. I do need to put him somewhere. You can pitch in high A, I guess. Oh, you have too much major league experience for that. Maybe we just cut you. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose the 1.5 million. Espinal, go to high A, please, and then you can go to double A. That's fine. That's fine. Alberto Pacheco cannot play in high A anymore. Oh, he's aged out of the league? Interesting. Adam McKillican, I'm going to release you. And then Mr. Pacheco can be called up to double A. Bryce McGowan has too much time in the major leagues, minor leagues. I mean, he's a reliever that has badly struggled to do anything of note. I think we probably just cut him. It's just the end of Bryce McGowan's time with the Colorado Rockies. Yes. We're not playing well, but we're not playing poorly either. We're somehow in the NL West lead. I mean, it's April, but like, what the fuck? How are we managing this? That's a good question. Well, let's look at some things here first. Victor Vodnik is getting better. Chivili is getting better. Romo is getting better. Amador is getting better. Beck is getting better. Cole Carrig is getting better. Eduardo Beltre just got worse. That's kind of a bummer. Okay. Kyle Karros got Player of the Week. Ryan McMahon hit 3 home runs in a game. That's pretty good, although he himself is performing very poorly indeed. Sterling Thompson. Kevin Fitzer had an outstanding month. Mr. Fitzer, I think you probably have earned yourself a promotion to double A. I always like rewarding performance, and if you're able to perform... no, you need more than just one hot month. Never mind. How are we winning as much as we are? We're scoring runs in bunches, which is hilarious because Ryan McMahon sucks. He doesn't suck that badly. He looks worse than he is because his BABIP has been so awful. He's actually not that bad. But Brent Doyle's amazing. Sean Bouchard, less so. Tovar, Toglia. Shrek and Romo are all great. Prado, not so much. Fernandez, not so much. But the pitching has been awful, which is what I expected. We're getting some decent movement. Like, Herman Marquez is having a good season. But way too early to make any drastic changes. But it's good to know that we have some players that can handle themselves quite effectively. Charlie Condon is waiting. It's not going to take much for him to get a spot in the major leagues this year. When is the last time we got a scouting report on Mr. Condon? We got one on April the 28th, and all he did was slightly improve his overall rating. Okay. How about you work out more, my friend? Okay, well... There's not a ton here that I can work with. My pitching staff is awful, but that's what I expected. There's not a lot I can do about that. This is just a matter of just getting innings completed, getting young players more of a chance to improve, and then reevaluating when time allows itself. Way too early in the season to make any drastic changes. We're going to go up to the next month. We're going to go up to June. 3 days for a flu, I don't care. That's what Amador is for. 7 players are too old. Okay. Fine. Christ, I don't remember who the other guys were. I'm sure it'll tell me. All right, Kelvin Hidalgo. You get promoted. Redison Gomez. You can be promoted. Felix Tana. Okay. Ray Garrett. I think I saw Brian Perez. And who else? Brian Mina. Okay. You can go up to high A. That's fine. Let's advance time. Four days for Toglia is not enough to really make a difference. Sean Bouchard has a bigger injury. This could be the opening for Charlie Condon. Zach Veen caught himself a virus. 3 weeks for Bouchard. Is 3 weeks too many, probably? Do we use Cole Carrig instead? I think maybe we do. I think Cole Carrig offers us some flexibility that I don't want to miss out on. So I think let's go ahead and waive Jeff Bain and let's call it Carrig. Why am I doing Carrig instead of Condon? I want Condon playing every day. He's having another really good season, so I'm really excited to see what he can accomplish as he continues with it. But Carrig also has the defensive flexibility that I also need on this team. So, Mr. Carrig, welcome to the major leagues. I'm going to shift you to right field just so I don't forget. You're most definitely not going to be my number 3 hitter, I don't think, but maybe you could be. I don't know. We can try it. He's also a switch hitter, which is nice. I'm pretty happy about that. Jeff Bain goes back to AAA. Our offense is very competitive this year. I can't help but notice that Michael Toglia leads the league in ribbies. Not that ribbies matter, because they don't, but it's still nice to see. Oh, damn, Carson Palmquist just randomly added a splitter. That's pretty exciting. I'm on board with that. Edgar Isaiah, you're still not improving your control. This concerns me. Is literally the only thing I expect you to do is to work on your control. Charlie Condon, you concern me. I'm not seeing your name in this report. Ryan McMahon was the best hitter in the National League. That's pretty exciting. Devin Mann is hitter for the month in AA. That's kind of fun. Oh, Cole Carrick hit 5 base hits the day before he got promoted. That's pretty exciting. Okay. Drew Romo was player of the week. Cool. Cool. All right. What are we looking at here? So we really only have 2 really top-tier hitters, which is Ezekiel Tovar and Ryan McMahon, with Michael Toglia being very good, but not great. Cole Carrick has barely played, so I don't really know if he's playing that well or not. We're going to give him some time to figure that out. Brenton Doyle's definitely struggling. Because Drew Romo is hitting as well as he is, we're actually going to swap Doyle and Romo. That's my one move at this point in the season. Um, I'm gonna be real with you. RJ Shrek is better than he looks. Because he's getting on base at a magnificent clip, he's still very useful to me, even if he's not an amazing hitter by any stretch of the imagination, but he is good. He is acceptable. Yanquiel Fernandez is not. This is not good enough. I don't know if he just needs more seasoning in the minor leagues. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But for right now, this is not good enough. This is not what we're looking for from our designated hitter. Hunter Goodman is doing okay. Let's do this. Who is being a high quality player for us? Becca's doing well. Shrek is doing okay. Our left field platoon is getting it done for the most part. Amador is fine. Prado is not doing that great. With Amador being the better second baseman, I think it's time to swap. Prato's still a very handy player to have, but at least for right now, he's not getting the job done. Let me redo my depth charts, please. That's fine. Let me redo it here, too. That is also fine. Okay, great. Back to the action here. Carrick is struggling. He's barely played. I'm not going to overreact with him. Brenton Doyle is still a tremendous center fielder, and he is still stealing bases, so he's still performing an important role. But pitting Blower in the lineup should help us out. It should help stabilize this a bit. So the question becomes, is it time to call up Charlie Condon? Could he be better than Yanquiel Fernandez? I find it hard that he would be worse than him. Mr. Fernandez strikes out at a very high rate, and while he does also walk a fair bit, he's not worthless. He's not putting the ball into play. If you can't put the ball into play, you're not going to hit the ball over the fence. So, Condon, I would like a scouting report on you. I want to know everything about you. If you do improve, I think you probably take Yanquiel Fernandez's place. I think it's better for the team. Or you can take Zach Veen's place. It's not like Zach Veen is playing that well either. There's definitely a spot for you in right field. 100%. Let me sum up to the combine. Sean Bouchard can return. Should he, though? Hard to say. Hard to say. He's better than Yanquiel Fernandez. That's a given. Is he, though? He's a little bit better. He's not worse than Yanquiel Fernandez. So I think for right now, we're going to go ahead and demote Yanquiel Fernandez, and we're going to call up Sean Bouchard, and we're going to slot Bouchard into hitting 9th here. You could probably hit higher in the lineup, I guess. Are you a better right fielder than Carrig? I think you almost certainly are not. Yeah, you're not. You can DH. That is fine. Alright, guys. Let us now. Do we get a scouting report on Mr. Condon? He's now ranked to 40. He was a 39. Wait, you said he's a 40. Here it says he's a 39. I'm badly confused. It looks like he's not actually getting better at hitting. This really, really concerns me if that's the case. Are you getting enough playing time? You're getting plenty of playing time. You're playing all the time. Which is great. Let's see if Bouchard can stabilize DH, and if he can, then we can make some other adjustments. Yeah, Condon's also hurt. Okay, well, that's fine. That's acceptable. We've had a couple months of the season. Let's see, there's some people that could use some promotions. Let's start with Double A. Is anybody here wrecking face? Sean Sullivan is kinda. He's not wrecking face, so I think he can take a promotion. Sure. That's fine. What's going on statistically here in High A? LeBaron Johnson Jr. gets promoted, I think. I think that's fair. Is anybody utterly shitting the bed in Double A? Has anybody failed to accomplish their basic tasks? Jared Thomas and Jesus Rodriguez are both struggling pretty badly. I'm going to send them both down. Luis Mendez gets called up. And that's fine. A-ball, what are we looking at statistically? Anybody dominating? Kevin Fitzer is playing quite well in high in A-ball, and he's already repeating the league. At 24, you're ready for Double A. Show statistics here. Nobody too exciting here. Oh, DSL hasn't started yet. That makes sense. This is the Dominican Summer League. So, yeah. It's fun. There's nobody here that's like, holy shit, what an amazing year. I have deep concerns about Brock Silvers, though. If he's playing this poorly in his first full season professionally, I mean, he's literally the last person I chose in the last draft, so maybe we can't get too grumpy about it, but I am. I'm watching him. Wow. Okay, thanks, Chuck. Thanks for telling me that you think we're neutral now. We have hearts full of neutrality. I see. I see. We've got to set up the scouting combine. We do have the first overall pick, if I remember correctly. We do. So we want to make sure that we invest significant resources to finding the very best player we can get our hands on. What makes me concerned is you think there's only like 4 or 5 blue chip talents this entire draft. That does concern me. But maybe we see some more information, right? Maybe we just need more information and that there will be other players of extreme skill. That works. Yeah, this is going to be a fascinating study in who we actually want and who actually develops the way we expect them to. We do want a high caliber starting pitcher. Dax Hardcastle concerns because he doesn't throw very hard, but the rest of his skills look pretty decent. Grady Emerson is really, really good. He's an incredibly balanced, well-rounded hitter. He's got low adaptability, which is concerning. But he is also a pretty good glove. So a guy like Grady Emerson, as you get more information about him, very possible. Tyler Spangler is a much better hitter, but he's got some serious makeup concerns. This has to hit. This has to be the kind of player that we can build the franchise around. So we have to be very cautious about who we select. Alex Harrington. Alex Harrington is fine, but he's not good enough. What about Brady Harris? Brady Harris is pretty good. He's decent. It's looking like Emerson is probably the pick. I know he's got low adaptability, but he does have the high upside that we're looking for. He's got a very well-rounded offensive skill set. He's a very talented glove. He can play shortstop or third base with equal skill. He's probably the guy, but we'll see. Cruzmel Arias is wanting a new job. Well, he can have it. He can go up to low A. I see no reason why he can't graduate. Yeah. Oh, the comment scouting link now goes here directly. That's really good. Okay. Remove, remove, remove. Had Mr. Gasparino, Mr. Matsouridis, and Mr. Cope. What do we think based on our latest scouting report of him? Elite pure hitter, lots of average, lots of walks, raw above average power. He's lost a tiny bit of potential contact, but not a significant amount. I think it's got to be Emerson. I don't really see a universe where it's not him. Gabe the Grackle. We can grab him. For those of you that don't know, grackles are related to crows. They're very loud birds. We call them guinea birds because they're like guinea pigs. If you've ever seen a grackle, you're like, oh yeah, they do sound like guinea pigs. See? I know what I'm talking about, kind of. And combine ends today. Some good information was gained. I don't see there being a world in which Emerson isn't my first pick. Isn't the first overall pick. I just don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough for me to be concerned about. Amador getting hurt is actually really unfortunate. I need a second baseman or someone that can at least handle the middle infield. That might be Briner Bonacci here. We can try it. Hey, John Beller, get out of here. There you go. I think we put Prado back at second base for now. I think he's fine there. And let's redo the depth chart. All right. What are we looking at here? We're still the third best offense in the National League. Cole Carrick is very clearly outmatched in right field. Very, very clearly outmatched. Sean Bouchard is sucking. So we have a real problem here. We have a definite black hole in the outfield, and I think it's a Charlie Condon-sized hole. I'm not saying that Charlie Condon's the answer to all of our problems, but I'm saying he's the answer to many of our problems. And I don't see any point keeping him in the minor leagues for even another day. I don't think there's any point in that. So the question becomes, what do we do with Bouchard? What do we do with Carrick? Carrick's high flexibility and the ability to play lots of different positions makes him handy to have on the roster even if he's not playing every day. Bouchard, on the other hand, is 30 years old and has never been a solid hitter in the major leagues. I think we try to trade Bouchard. It's going to make the fans grumpy, but they're going to get over it because he's not a very good player. Or do we just demote Zach Veen? Or do we play Zach? Yeah, we think we just demote Zach Veen. Because I want people to like me, I don't want to get rid of Bouchard. I could just bench him instead, and Charlie Condon comes to the major leagues. So the Shrek and Beck connection is still handling himself pretty effectively in left field, so it's going to be right field for him. That is their nickname, by the way. They're the Shrek and Beck connection. Yes. Now, if I remember correctly, Condon doesn't have any big splits, so I think letting him play every day is more useful than having him just hang out. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're definitely going to DH against righties. Shrek, you're going to be the new number 3 hitter, and we're going to have everyone else. We're going to have Doyle move up. We're going to have Condon move up. Who's Condon play against left-handed pitching? Probably you replace. Hunter Goodman is actually playing pretty well at DH. I don't want to take him out of the lineup. Maybe we just start with this. We just start with him playing and hitting against righties, and then seeing if a spot opens up. Carrick is not batting third. That needs to stop immediately. Let's try Hunter Goodman hitting third, actually, and let's move up Jordan back. And Doyle. There you go. Cool. And then I definitely want Condon DHing when he gets a chance. I am not playing Bouchard. I refuse. He's had plenty of opportunities to show me that he can still hit, and he has not done so he can go fuck himself. Once every 7 games is fine, but... Alright. Is there anything we can do about the pitching staff? Probably not. It is getting slightly better. It's not getting worse. It's just not very effective. Jaden Hill, you need to be given low air. You need to be taken out of the regular spot here. Avoid high leverage, please. Closer and setup guy are fine. I wish I could get rid of Kyle Freeland. I truly wish I could dispose of him. Herman Marquez is going to take over the number 2 spot in the rotation. Feltner's going to take over the number 3 spot. We're trying to get the better pitchers to pitch more frequently, which is fine. Dollander is actually handling himself okay. He's not pitching fantastically, but he's pitching well enough. The home runs are becoming an issue. People are teeing off on him a bit, but the only way to get through that is to just push through it. Just keep pitching to the best of your abilities. Everyone's giving up home runs at a high rate. It's Colorado. There's not much I can do about that. Any interesting players on the waiver wire? I haven't checked waiver wire in a while. No. No. Everyone's going to be trading players that are major leaguers, and what I really want is minor leaguers or players that have no major. Oh, somebody reminded me of something. I didn't talk about the comments from last week's video. But somebody mentioned you can sort by ML years and find out if somebody has been in the major leagues. Let me quickly check this out here. I want to make sure I give the correct person the proper credit before I try it out. Grant Harmon 5521. Thank you, Grant. And then another thing I want to point out was Charles Rosa J5D, as well as Charlie HYQ9N. Don't even be the same person. I don't know. They both said don't do it with international free agents. Amateurs are fine. Don't do it with the major league ones, and I agree. If it seems like we're totally hopeless, I might still do it, but okay. So let's do sign a free agent. And we're looking for ML years. There it is right there. You guys, it was right there the whole fucking time. So give me the default view, please. And then let's edit the default view to include major league years and major league days. And here we go. We can see very clearly now who has never played the major leagues before. Thank you again, Grant, for your incredibly helpful insight. Look at poor Josh Lester. You could be a Rocky, but he's had 5 days in the major leagues. That's too many days. Sorry, mate. I could filter by this too. Interesting. That's weird. I wonder why I can sort by ML years, but I can't sort by ML days. That's fine, I guess. Um, this should be, is it most 0? Look at that. We're going to call this non-MLB filter. There we go. It's still not perfect. I hate that I can't filter by Major League days for some reason. That seems less than ideal, but whatever. Oh, it's called MLD. Is that my problem? Did I just miss it? It is very possible that I just missed it. No, it's genuinely not here. Bummer. That's not the end of the world, though. I can still sort by this, so it's fine. All players, please. Let's get some minor league reinforcements. It's Bernie Martinez. He still never played in the major leagues. What a sad story. What a very sad story. Let's offer him a contract. Andy Otero, another gentleman who's never played. I'm not going to pay him any money, though. I mean, these are just guys I'm just going to add on and see what they can accomplish. Bryce Blazer, what is your deal here? You suck. That's your deal. You're not the worst. There's definitely something here. It's just not very much, and it's worth the grand total of nothing that I'm going to pay you, so sure. I like you a lot, actually. I like you a lot. You've got great leadership. You're somewhat well balanced. I mean, you might never get out of the minors for me, but you can at least join the team. And I think that's enough for now. I don't really think there's anybody else here that I'm going to get too excited about. But I am very excited, by the way, about the stuff here. Oh, you literally were on my team, weren't you? No, you're drafted by the Royals and they just cut you? Are you truly helpless? I mean, you're not great, but I'm willing to give you the grand total of $0 to join the Rockies in our minor league team. Yes. I will also offer Darius Hill a minor league contract. And I think that's it for now. I think this is reasonable. Let's get after it. Oh no, Charlie Montfort died. I don't know if you're any kind of Rocky fan. Hey, look at this. These guys all signed really quickly. Let me assign you to second chance squad. Because this is just as an important a way for us to add players as anything else. Alright. So, how does our thing change here? I have a lot of money all of a sudden. I have shit tons of money. But I don't know what to do with it. That I think is the great issue here, is that we don't have... I mean, the first thing I could do with $40 million is I could cut Kyle Freeland. That's not nothing. None of my free agents are really worth keeping, I don't think. Re-signing Brent Doyle for the right price point makes a lot of sense to me. What is he looking for in a longer term deal? If I wanted a 5-year deal with 2 team options, would you take 7.2 million a year? Probably not, but let's ask. No. All right, so what do you want to play 5 years? I cannot give you $21 million without a way out of it. That's just not something I can do. I have the money, so I do want to spend it, but I don't want to spend it recklessly. I think this works for me. I think at the very least he's going to be worth it in 2029, and if he's not, I can just get rid of him. This, I think, is fine. I think it's a good deal. I think it gives us some stability, and I approve of that. Tovar's already locked up, which is good. Doyle, we're going to hang on to. Peter Lambert isn't even playing in the majors, so the idea that he's going to get a raise is laughable. Bouchard is not that good. Hunter Goodman could be. Maybe. I wouldn't mind re-signing Michael Toglia for the right deal. I think this is reasonable. I'm not trying to waste my money, but I am trying to show my fans that I'm spending it. And this at least buys me out of the arbitration years for a fairly reasonable cost. I think this is perfectly acceptable. And I think Toglia has done a pretty good job, so I think giving him an extension is worthwhile. I started with my new beneficence. And then, when the offseason rolls around, we can maybe see if there's not a player of interest to me. Yes. Because Sentinella's gone. Like, I am not paying him $14 million. That's ridiculous. We could extend Ryan McMahon, I guess. He is having a fantastic season, one of his best. So getting rid of him is definitely not something I want to do. But I also don't think I can legally sign I can sign an extension for you, but it's going to be a pretty gigantic one. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but I'm saying let's wait. Let's wait and see if he is deserving of the money he is requesting. Jordan Beck is eventually going to want more money. That's fine. He's playing a fairly small role on the team, but that's fine. All right. So now we've got a little bit more money invested in the team, and we have enough ways out of it so that we don't have to worry too terribly much if they don't pan out. Toglia is really excited about signing. I hope he is. John Beller. Who is John Beller? Where did you come from? Go to the minors, I guess. You can play in high A. Sure. The fans are pretty pleased about keeping Doyle, so that's fine. And I do think both Doyle and Toglia are going to age fairly well. I think they're both useful players. They're not exactly megastars, but I think they're fine. I really miss the fact, by the way, that you can't put people on the 60-day IL anymore. Unless they actually deserve it. I mean, I guess it's reasonable. Like, I'm not saying that it's unfair, but I am saying it's a little disappointing. All of my starting pitchers in the high minors are terrible at control. This concerns me deeply. The last thing I want to do is... Like, I'm not saying we're a playoff team this year. We're not a playoff team, not really. But I don't want to risk my slot. Case Williams could actually be legitimately a decent choice. But like Madden's control sucks, Burrito sucks, Brecht sucks, Eaton sucks. McMahon doesn't suck. I guess McMahon is reasonable. He could be somebody that we give some starts to. Maybe. Ryan Smith, get out of here. Chris McMahon. That can't be the best solution, can it? Oh, wait a minute. He's not even starting. Okay, that changes everything. Then I can use Sean Sullivan, who I think is by far a better choice. You're going to do middle relief, and you're also going to kill specialist stuff here. If anybody that's a reliever, Sentinzella, you're being promoted to long relief. And emergency starts if we need them. Okay. Alright. Let's keep it going. Alright. He likes RJ Shrek. There's tons of people we've developed. Don't be stupid. Okay. How is our front office staff doing? We're doing good. We're doing fine. I don't know that Ronnie Gideon is anything special. No, he's pretty bad. I think we let him walk, and I don't think it's a hard choice either. All the minor leaguers, you can have new extensions. I'm not really concerned right now with remaking the minor leagues. I mean, Ryan Kibler is not good enough. I think we need better coaches in the low minors. I think that's going to be a good thing for us. So I think letting some of these guys walk is fine. Mr. Nunez, I don't feel so good. Felix Rosario definitely gets an extension. I think he's got a really good opportunity to maybe move up the chain here. There you go. That's dealt with. Top hundo prospects, Sal Delgado. Still looking pretty good. I don't want him. I want his development risk to drop a little before we start exposing him to regular play in the professional leagues. I think one thing we're going to run into, and I'm already starting to sense it now, it's going to be really difficult for us to make big moves at the deadline to improve our chances. Because of our restrictions, because we can't really add a lot of talent, that's going to be an issue. We do want to check on Drew Romo as well. Drew Romo is a pretty good catcher, and I'd like to keep him if we can. Any changes for Condon? I don't think so. Drew... Yeah, you could use a long-term contract. Team options, please. That's my issue here. I need team options, please. No, this is probably too quickly. That's too much. I know he's having a great season. I know he's had a good season last year too. But if I'm going to commit that much money to him, I want to make sure of it. I want to make sure that he is the kind of player that we're looking for. So for right now, I say no. But I think I say yes in the very near future. Ryan Smith has cleared waivers. Thank God, and he can play in high A, I guess. Alright. Let us advance to the first year player draft. Alright. Luis Garcia has Major League experience, therefore he is dead to me. Alright. I think it's Emerson. I don't think there's any point to me drawing this one out. I think it's very clearly Emerson. Meet his demand. Yeah. Nothing about the scouting process convinced me that anyone as well-rounded as him is not the right choice. So yeah. Auto draft until my next pick. Okay. I do need a pitcher. I desperately need pitching talent in the upper minors. What is Dax Hardcastle's deal? He is expensive. He's not very loyal. But he's got really good tools. I don't like the velocity. I wish he threw harder. But this is still a very fine pitcher. A very nice pitcher, one might say. And I think he's a high-quality addition. I will at least look at these other two guys here. So we also have Matthew Sharman. Very smart, very loyal. Good ratings up here. So doesn't throw very hard. Justin LeGuernick. Maybe. I guess the value with LeGuernick is he's going to be able to hit the majors very quickly. He's also left-handed, which apparently is a thing for me. None of these starters immediately leap out at me as saying these guys are incredible. Gabe the Grackle is acceptable, I suppose. Not for 7.5 million, though. That's too much money. Tate McKee is fine. There's not very many top-tier starters in this draft. There's a lot of good ones, and I think we just take Hardcastle and don't worry about it. Yeah. Oh, where did he go? Here he is. Mr. Hardcastle, you are a draft pick for me. All right, Wyatt Halverson. This is a really good pitcher. This is a very, very good pitcher. He's got really nice ratings, good fastball slider cutter combination. He's got the velocity I'm looking for. And he can also go right to A-ball, which I think is really useful. I think that's very, very good. I think we're going to take him. All right. Lucas Kennedy wants a lot of money. There's probably a good reason for that, maybe. Tyler Ball is playing at BYU. He's got a really nice changeup. I don't know if really nice changeup is what I'm looking for. When that's his only skill. I like Weston Moss slightly more. He's pitched well in college. I think Weston Moss is a better choice for me. Jaron Purify. He is fine. I don't want to sit here and tell you that he is elite, but he is fine. And I think fine is fine in the 5th round. I think that's reasonable. Done. Oh, I need to add you both to my draft picks list. I only do this for the top 5 because I don't really need to worry about other players. All right. Kennedy keeps slipping because he sucks. This is not a good player. This is somebody who is maybe average. I don't think that interests me. We like James Raid. I do not like him. I think they've retuned the draft classes again. Or maybe this is just because we have a better scouting director who's not all about the tools. I'm seeing a lot more mid-tier players in the draft. I'm seeing less blue chippers. Maybe that means that the ratings will be more accurate. Maybe it means that they'll stay the way that they're supposed to stay. Hunter Dietz is fine. Let me start. This is kind of early to do this, but I'm going to start drafting for tools. Please. Oh, I have all players selected. I just need to get up to the top here. Ben Barrett is not a bad choice. I think he's at least competent as an outfielder. I'm going to give him a shot. Sure. This is a huge overdraft, but it also doesn't cost me any money, so I don't really care that much. Can I look at hitters now, please? Okay, now we're talking. Now we're looking. I think Easton Brefgoyle is a perfectly valid selection, even if unremarkable. Would you have Matt Austinfort, who is power and literally nothing else? I like Daniel Jackson slightly more. Let's grab Daniel Jackson. Let's make him a Rocky. Let me now look at pitching potential for pitchers, please. I'm not looking for two-way people right now necessarily. Let's grab Derek Schaefer. Let's get people lots of movement. I think that's pretty handy for us. Hudson Rowan. Okay, fine. Reasonable. Let me go back to the draft homepage. We really like James Rate, and no one else is taking him, so I'll take him now. You want Parker Burgess? I don't object to that. Well, I can't help but notice that the hitters are gone at this point. I think we need to be at least willing to talk to some of these hitters. I can't just only take pitchers, although we do need pitching, don't we? I'll take Drew Nelson. I'm just trusting Mascot at this point. Eli Birch is a decent catcher with some skills. I think he is acceptable. I think I've overdrafted a lot in this draft, but it's mostly because there just aren't blue chip. There aren't that many blue chip talents in this draft, so there's a little bit less. There's a little bit less interest and really taking a lot of time to go through each possible player. What is Jorge Gonzalez Cibo's deal? His deal is that he's a pretty good infielder, but he can't hit at all. I don't not want to draft him. Sure. Fine. We really like Kenny Michaels. I mean, I don't not like him. He's a really big kid. I'm surprised his max velocity isn't higher. I think there might be something extra here if we just look for it. All right, AJ Shepard. We can draft you. Sure. Fine. Luca Reyes is terrible, but it's also like the 19th round, so whatever. If you feel this strongly about a particular player, I'm probably going to take him. And then we'll end with Zach Johnston. Done. Draft completed. I think we addressed our biggest issue, which was getting a lot more starting pitching into our draft class, which I think we did very well at. I also think that we are very, very reliant. For this to be a top tier class, Grady Emerson has to pan out. He has to be high quality. And I think he could be. I don't think it's unreasonable for him to be a great player. But I do think it's a very, very top heavy draft for us. Very, very top heavy. Ryan Feltner's going to miss a week. That's not really worth putting him on the IL for, so I will note it and move on with my life. Absolutely fucking not. Alex Cobb, nobody cares about you. All right, Wyatt Halverson is already 20. He's already injured now? How on earth have you already injured yourself? That's 20 years old for a college educated rookie. It seems silly to put him in BACL. Let's put him in low A. That's fine. I swear to God, if Halverson instantly like his elbow just combusts, then I will be very salty. Dax Hardcastle is 19, so rookie league is signed for him. Weston Moss is 22. He's absolutely not going into the rookie league. He's going to start in low A. How many Rockies make the roster, I wonder? Drew Romo, Ryan McMahon, and that's it. We get 2 All-Stars. I think that's fine. I'm a little surprised that Michael Toglia didn't get consideration, but I think... No, we got 3 starters. We got Brent Doyle as well. So we have 3 All-Stars, none of whom are starting the game, but... I know Salvador Perez has the cachet, but Drew Romo is by far the better catcher this year. I think he should be starting, but I guess that's not what the fans care about. Whatevs. Edgar Isaiah is made the All-Star team as a rookie. That's fun. Trading deadline. Troops for Sean Sullivan. Matt Cantorino has a more serious injury. That does worry me. I'm not so full of pitching. Oh, the Grizzlies are over the roster limit. How dare they be over the roster limit? Eric Bautista, goodbye. No, Francisco Garcia, goodbye. Bad bye. At the end of August, after the trade deadline, we will go ahead and we'll reconfigure our minor league system a bit. We'll make some decisions. We can have Kyle Freeland back. That's a thing we can do. Okay, welcome back, Kyle Freeman, because Matt Cantorino is going to miss the rest of the season. You get to start again. Isn't that exciting? Losing Cantorino actually really sucks. Actually quite liked Cantorino. I think he was a really nice pickup for us. 92 innings of pretty decent baseball, and the Rockies' home stadium is pretty solid. But maybe that means his career is just over now, which is really sad if that's the case. Hunter Main is retiring. That's fine. I mean, you're 24 years old. You never left rookie ball. That's probably the right call for you and your family, if I'm being honest with you. Oh, the Yard Goats have too many players. We have too many goats. Does anybody want Jose Torres? Like, he's literally just a defender. He has no other skills, but maybe that's something that people are interested in, maybe. I don't know. It could be. People will be like, holy shit, Jose Torres. No, they're just like, fuck that guy in particular. Could I demote him? I'd rather demote him and keep him in the system, just in case. Yeah. We have too many Fresno Grizzlies again. Eric Bautista, you can depart. And that gets us to our roster limits. I also could have promoted him to high A, but there honestly wasn't much left of him. The National League won. Well done, Jonathan Aranda. Well done. Well done. How did we do? Did the Rockies achieve anything special? Brent Doyle was a pinch hitter. He got a hit in an RBI. Nice. Ryan McMahon didn't play at all. That's a bummer. And what about Drew Romo? Did he play? He did not play. Hey, you know what? That's fine. You know, not everyone gets a chance to play. It's cool. We get Amador back. I think Prado has proven he cannot handle being the everyday starting second baseman. I'm going to trade him. I'm going to see if anybody else wants Prado. I think I've learned what I wanted to learn from him, which is he a major league caliber starter? And he is not. Even for a team that's as mediocre as the Rockies, we can do better. So let's see if anybody else is intrigued by Anthony Prado. But anyone else is like, damn, that's exactly the kind of player I want on my club. Delicious. Yeah, nobody else wants him. Unsurprising. I'm gonna go ahead and put him on waivers. If somebody claims him, they claim him. I don't really care. I think Rain Johnson here is acceptable. I think he is reasonable. Oh no, wait, we're making room for Amador, aren't we? Amador gets his spot back. Yeah, he does. Okay. And then Amador just casually slide back in to play second base for us, please. The Prado experiment is over. We saw what we needed to see from him. What we saw wasn't very exciting. I have a very firm opinion about this trade proposal. How dare you, sir? Is Yost interesting? Yost isn't not interesting. He isn't interesting, though. Do we start trying to put together a package for like a really top tier prospect? I think a really good starting pitcher could really transform our likelihoods here. I want to find players. I want to find starting pitchers with a potential of at least 55. Include minor leaguers. Yes, just search all leagues. That's easier. Let me pick prospects only. I think that'll stop us from getting people with much major league experience. I think Thomas White would make a very fine addition to the Rockies. I have a feeling someone like him is going to cost me quite a bit in trade, but we can at least have the conversation, right? What if we started with LeBaron Johnson Jr. and Jake Madden? Nothing. Okay, that's not going to happen. I guess that's going to be our biggest issue here, is I just don't have much to offer at this point. Yeah, oh well. Hey, look, it's Sandy Ozuna. Sandy Ozuna here could be pretty damn good. That's something that's worth considering. Sean Sells is going to miss another 1 to 2 weeks. I'll put you on the injured list. I don't see why not. Edgar Issei, I'm going to give you a chance in the major leagues. I don't want you pitching in high leverage situations, but I'm at least going to give you the chance simply because somebody has to do it. Yeah. Fine. Nope, Aaron Savali is a... Wait a minute. I have a cunning plan. Wait, Packy Naughton. Okay. We're going to try an experiment here. I think this is something that I can maybe do. Let me look at player search. All right, we're going to try an experiment here. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. I'm going to use my filter. I'm going to use the reverse filter. Yeah, let me do customize, and we're going to do is at least 1. Okay, this is literally the entirety of Major League Baseball. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to pick not interested. Okay, some of these players it didn't work for, but at least worked for some of them. I think this will help. I think it'll help reduce the trade offers that I receive that I can't do anything with. Doyle! Bruh. Okay, fine. Alright. What do I have that is worth trading? What do I have that somebody's going to look at and say, that's something that I want? Really nothing. I need to really get my I mean, Sean Bouchard is somebody teams could be interested in. Let's kick the tires on him. Does anybody want Sean Bouchard? For a tasty prospect. Or two. There is some interest in him. Okay. Okay. Moises Chase, you're dead to me. You have foolishly chosen to play in the major leagues. Nick York has already played in the major leagues, so he's no good. What about a prospect package? Roberto Campos is a very good right fielder with some offensive skill. I've got to get at least one green, I think. Vic Domingo is a pretty solid pitcher. I think that's somebody I could get excited about. Rafael Ramirez Jr. He's okay, I guess. I don't really want Luke Harrison. I don't think Luke Harrison's very exciting. Let's discuss this trade in more detail. What if I drop Luke Harrison? And let me add in a different rookie. What about Vance Honeycutt? No, that's silly. I'm not even going to ask. There's no way you give me Vance Honeycutt. I wouldn't mind Leandro Arias. That actually works for you. Okay. We might be cooking here. We might be onto something here. I would like one additional player if the Orioles would be so kind. Cameron Weston has foolishly already played in the major leagues. That disappoints me. What about Patrick Riley here? Can I get Patrick Riley too? You want a little bit more? That's fine. How about Trace Bright then? Okay. This is just purely about restocking our minor league system. For a player that I'm not using anyway, I think this makes sense. Look, it's the eternal player for me, Judd Fabian, who every season I'm always convinced is going to be something special, and then he never actually plays for me. I think we just stop here. I think 5 players for Sean Bouchard is more than sufficient. Let me flag you as an ex-Rocky. And let me bring you all in as not draft picks. If nothing else, this will force out some of the more marginal players. Yeah. That was well worth it. That was well worth it to me. Sean Bouchard didn't really have a role on the team anymore with Charlie Condon, so yeah. Let's bring Fernandez back up. He's enjoyed quite a year in the PCL, so I think bringing him back is fine. And let's set up a depth chart. I don't want Fernandez playing every other day, but I do want him playing somewhat frequently, so I think once every 5 games is fine. Charlie Condon is struggling. This is not lost on me. We may have to do something about that. Alright, let's actually start the trade deadline now. I have never wanted Packy Daunton for anything in my life. People generally don't put minor league prospects on the trade list, so I wonder if this is just... Is there anybody on this team that we don't want? Are there any prospects we don't believe in? I don't really believe in Jake Madden, if I'm being honest with you. I think he could be a good pitcher if he ever develops his control, but he hasn't done that yet. So that gives me very strong concerns. I mean, he is improving. He is getting better. Maybe we don't give up on him just yet. I have a bunch of starting pitchers that are roughly the same skill level, so I need to start trimming some of them out. I think Sterling Thompson can go. I think he's always going to be very, very limited in the major league, so I think if we can get something useful for him, it's worthwhile. I think that's good. I would love to take Moises Chausse, but he has played in the majors and is therefore dead to me. Carter Matheson, I think, is a fine choice. I think it's a straight up upgrade, 100%. I do save a tiny bit of money, but I think this works. I think this is the kind of team, this is the kind of deal we want to make. Who else do I not believe in? It's hard for me to give up on players too early, but I do have to recognize the fact that there is a very reasonable possibility that people are going to just drop off. We're not going to have them at all. So, a concern for sure. Okay. I think this is a successful deadline already. I don't know that anyone's going to want Prado, but we can ask. Does anybody want Anthony Prado? He's one of the Anthonys of all time. No? Okay. Well, no, we can skip one sim a day. There's always a chance someone offering minor leaguers for my players. I do not want Mike Yastrzemski, sir. He played in the major leagues. He is useless. Bryce Matthews has played in the major leagues. He is useless, sir. I cannot accept your nonsense. We do not accept major league players here. Dylan Carlson is actually pretty good, but he is a major leaguer and must be dismissed. Connor Joe must be dismissed. So I shall reject both of these. Yes. Skip to next sim, and then skip to next sim, and we're done. I'm gonna simulate the rest of this day, and then we're gonna do some minor league maintenance. We're gonna move people around a bit, which I think is a good idea. I think it's a tremendous idea. I think it's one of the best ideas I've ever had. I'm joking. I just think it's fun. Okay. Romo continues to get better. We might have to give Romo that big contract. I'm not guaranteeing it yet, but we might be at that stage where you just have to accept the fact he's just that good. I also have lots of money, so I don't have to rush it. It's Michael Prosecki, Rookie of the Month. You're on my former Rockies list. Good for you, man. Oh, you got snagged in the Rule 5. Curious. Tommy Hop is having himself a year. Okay. Let's do minor league maintenance. So we're going to start looking at stats. Anybody having a fantastic year in the Dominican Summer League? Not really. Okay, great. Odarlin Cruz can just be removed. He has nothing to offer us. He's 22 years old. He's already ready for the Rule 5. Yeah. Not a thing I concern myself with. Show stats. Okay. I would love to call this roster some. I think there's too many players here. Cable Holson, get out of here. Actually, show ratings, please. Yeah. Gone, 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 gone. Depart post haste. Okay. We could also reduce them by promoting people. So let's go back to that. Are there any players having a great year in the minor leagues? Not really. Aaron Downs is 24 and is struggling mightily to even produce average offense. I think he's probably not a useful pick. Brock Silvers, you guys. He's struggling. I feel like he's still way too young to give up on, but that concerns me significantly. Okay, what's going on in A-ball here? Actually, there's somebody I don't want anymore. My problem is I don't have roster spots to move people around in the minor leagues right now. Um, is anybody just obliterating the lower levels of the minor leagues? Actually, Andujar absolutely is. As is Felix Tena. I'm gonna put you both in double A for right now, but I do need to make room for you, which may just be demoting people. I don't know. We're putting up 2 WAR and A ball. That's pretty impressive. Nobody here is terribly thrilling. Anybody that I need to kick down to A ball? San Quintin. I cannot demote you. I think I just release you then, maybe. Like, you've done nothing in the minor leagues. You've been a disappointment at every step of the way. I think we maybe just say goodbye to you. Wait, can you do high A plus? You can do. Okay, that's fine. And Dylan McLean can also go to short season A plus. Okay, anybody in double A just ridiculous this year? Not really. So we'll just let you keep seasoning. And then what's going on in triple A? Okay. I think Zach Kokoska is probably done as well. If I had anybody really exceptional in double A, I'd probably promote them. But for right now, people are just kind of chilling, and I don't want to disrupt their routines if I don't have to. So that's a little bit of minor league maintenance for you there. Yeah. I probably want to go on to September now. Prado, you can go to AAA. I don't have any objections to keeping him. I just don't want him on the Major League roster. And I just noticed that somebody has the big scary red stuff. Cole Carrig is out for several weeks. Disappointing. Carter Matheson could be useful. I think at the very least he's a decent enough bench guy. I think we can give him a chance. Or maybe we just bring Zach Veen back. Zach is also struggling mightily in AAA. I think Matheson at least has some upside to him, and I think that makes him more useful to me. So we'll call him up. Who's playing right field now? It's probably Yanquiel Fernandez. I think he has to get a chance to play more. So I think we're going to let him have that chance. I think that is acceptable. And give me depth charts, or give me death. I really want Fernandez playing, unless Condon is actually figuring it out. He's not really figuring it out yet. He's still struggling pretty badly. That's fine, actually. Actually, factual. You don't really like left-handed pitching, do you? I am going to start Condon instead of Fernandez. I'm going to give him more at-bats. I need him to play just as much as humanly possible so we can figure out what our life looks like. Yes. Sean Sullivan is welcome to return. He will do so when the rosters expand. Anthony Molina. Look, bro, you pitch for a team that is already short people. You're just gonna pitch anyway. He'll recover in a week. That's fine. That's okay. I think upgrading the pitching staff would be very welcome, but I don't know how we do it. I don't know where we find the horses, so to speak. Victor Vodnik is gonna miss 4 months. That sucks. Sean Sullivan, you get his spot. You can be middle reliever, I guess. I know Edgar Issei hasn't pitched that much. He's actually pitched very, very effectively when he has, so that's kind of surprising, but welcome. Very, very welcome. Let's keep going, guys. What's going on here? Anything crazy here? Judd Fabian already hit a bunch of hits. That's pretty cool. Neat. I'm talking downtown. Okay. I would like to audition a couple more bullpen arms. I think that's what he's my 2 extra spots for. I don't think there's any position players that I'm ready to give meaningful time to. I don't think. John Beller is a guy. Kevin Hidalgo. Okay, Wyatt Halverson isn't permanently injured. Let's get him up to A ball. He's too good to be sitting in rookie ball, and he's too old to be sitting in rookie ball. Oscar Pujols, I think, can also be promoted. I think is fine. How's Grady Emerson taking to professional baseball? He hasn't actually played yet. Okay, fine. All right, guys. Want to audition a couple of relievers or a couple of pitchers. Do you have any pitchers that are rated 40? That's not true. I have Bracht and I have McKeon. I think let's promote McKeon and let's promote Bracht. And let's just let them pitch. Let's just see what happens here. You can both be middle relievers, I guess. A 5.14 ERA in AAA is actually not terrible. That's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. I think what's really going to hurt us here is because we don't have access to major league pitchers. It's going to be hard for us to upgrade our rotation in a meaningful way. Cole Carrig is ready to come back. I do want him back. I think he is very helpful to have on the team. But I think he can rehab. I think that's fine. $15-1, nice. An away game too. That's very exciting. Some guys are retiring. That's fine. That's acceptable. Wouldn't it be funny shit if I got a backdoor playoff appearance here? I think it would be funny. I think it would be hilarious. Ryan McMahon is player of the week again. That's pretty great. All right, Mr. Carrig. I don't think Matheson is better than you. I think you're far more useful, so I think we go ahead and call you up. I'm just gonna make you a relief. I'm gonna make you a reserve for the rest of the season. I don't think there's a bunch of value in me giving you a bigger role right now. I definitely don't want you playing over Shrek, who I think has done a fine job this season. Or Fernandez, for that matter. I mean, if you want to spell Condon as a DH every once in a while, I think that's fine. I think that's okay, but I don't want you to play every day. Dollander misses 9 to 10 months. That's unfortunate. Hey, Burrito. Hey, Madden, actually. Hey, Madden. Where is Brody Brecht? I think he's probably the best choice to take over as a starter for the rest of the season, so we'll do that. I think you can be my emergency starter. That's fine. It is possible that we sneak in here and grab a wild card spot. It would be funny if we did. I don't expect it. I don't think we'd do much with it if we got it, but I'm here for it. I'm here for us trying it out. Tyler Herb losing velocity probably ends his usefulness to me. Fernandez is getting better, Beck is getting better, Condon is getting better, Carrick is getting better. He's getting faster, which is kind of fun. Yeah, we're seeing some nice improvements here. Dollander is out for basically the rest of this year, most of next year. 5 weeks for Gabriel Hughes. Okay, fine. Let's get good old Brahans here. Let's let him be a middle reliever, I guess. Maybe. We were eliminated from the postseason, guys. Bummer. Big bummer. We lost manager Bobby Meacham. We'll worry about that next episode. Let's just sim to the end of the playoffs at this point. It is funny, though. We almost did have a chance to make the postseason, which is pretty funny. Which is pretty comedic. Is it the Orioles again? Is it always the Orioles? Will it be the Orioles then, now, and forever? Probably. I don't know that about Jim Palmer. That's a fun fact. Yeah, Orioles again. Damn. OOTP loves the Orioles, which I've always found kind of interesting. I mean, they do have an incredible prospect roster, so I'm not that surprised by it. But it is at least kind of funny. All right. We got decisions to make here. Let's make the obvious ones first. First of all, Cade Denton won an award, so I think he can afford to be promoted to AA. That's your reward, my friend. Congratulations. Santazella? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Get the fuck off of my team. Marquez, welcome back. We lost our first base coach. He chose to retire. That's fine. I didn't want him anyway. I mean, we didn't suck completely this year either. I think this is ridiculous. This is not going to happen, but we'll see what happens. Okay, friends. Let's review the season. Let's see who was a worthy Rocky and who was less worthy. Brent Doyle had an amazing season. He clearly took his shiny new contract with aplomb and just was excelled at every facet of the game. Probably going to win another Gold Glove, probably. But also a top-tier hitter. Plenty of stolen bases as well. a great season for Mr. Doyle. Ezekiel Tovar, he just keeps doing what he does better than anybody. He's an outstanding hitter with lots of power, and he plays a pretty fair shortstop. He's not flawless. I think there's definitely a future where he moves off of shortstop, but for right now, he's pretty good. He's pretty special. Drew Romo has now put together 2 all-star caliber seasons, and he's gotten better each year. He drew more walks this year. He cut down on strikeouts. He put the ball in play. He hit the ball. He maybe had less home runs, but he had way more doubles. So he's actually significantly more productive. Yeah. We're lucky to have him, although I am concerned about his lack of top-tier ratings. Performance matters more than ratings. Especially playing in Colorado, he's going to see a boost to his bat, and he's a really good catcher, which I think is underrated. Not a great arm, but a very good catcher. Ryan McMahon, again, accelerates his skill. He's getting better in his 30s, which is amazing to see. I don't mind him hitting leadoff, but I think we're missing out a lot on our raw run production with him not hitting lower in the lineup where he can actually drive people across home plate. But he is not a bad player. He is a useful, valuable player. Michael Toglia has been a wonderful find ever since we acquired him. Oh no, I can't take credit for him. He was always part of the Rockies, but yeah. Ridiculous power. Gets on base at a good clip. I'd like the strikeouts to come down if I was going to be greedy with him, but I think what he provides now is pretty good. The Beck and Shrek connection did quite well again, especially Shrek. Yeah. This isn't a perfect season. I'd like to see him put the ball in play a little bit more, but this is still a very good season. He got on base at a good clip, stole a handful of bases, and generally just got himself on base as much as possible. Amador went from afterthought to starting second baseman again. I think he just is what he is. I just need to accept that he's never going to be a premium offensive producer, but he's going to play very good defense, and I think, at least for now, that's good enough. Hunter Goodman was our best non-regular again, which is pretty exciting. Yanquiel Fernandez still wasn't good, but he did get better. He did get a lot better. In a year where if he does lock in and produce like this in the majors next year too, I think we've got ourselves a really special player. I think we've got a really great player and somebody who can hold down the fort, so to speak. Carrig was fine. Beck was fine. Condon was there. Condon's going to work out his problems in the major leagues. I have no desire to send him back to the minors. I don't think he's got anything left to learn there. He just needs to play every day and just hit baseballs. That's what he needs to do. And Brenner Bonacci sucked pretty hard. Well, he's a terrible hitter. That's not what he's here for. So let's also look at our injured list. I don't remember if we had any injured hitters, but I don't think we did. I think all of our injuries are pitchers. Yeah, they are. Cantorino was not bad. Not great, but not bad. I think he's a very useful player and somebody that's going to have a role in the team next season as well, depending on when he recovers and if he recovers. Chase Dollander had a pretty decent season. Not a great one, but a decent one. I just need him to get reps. I need him to pitch as much as possible so that he can unlock his true potential. Hughes gave us some decent innings. Nothing fantastic, but okay. Vodnik was, again, acceptable. It's hard to get excited about any of my pitchers, to be perfectly honest with you. There's just not a whole lot here to get thrilled about. Our best starter by far was German Marquez again. Feltner was okay. Herb was fine. Issei really shocked me. I think it's too much to expect him to be this good every season, but he's at least earned himself an opportunity, so we're going to see what he does with it. Jaden Hill fucking sucked. He was actually terrible. So we probably need to do something about that. But this is not a team that has very good pitching. And until we can at least get league average pitching consistently, I think we're going to struggle mightily. I think we're not going to really be able to be in a position to make the postseason. Kyle Freeland, I wish would retire right now, but he won't. I don't care that you're unhappy. I'm unhappy that you suck. So we're both unhappy. And we'll both suffer. On the whole, though, I'm proud of this team. I think this team did quite well. I think we found some real solutions at various positions. And I think next season is going to be about building on our success. It's going to be about finding the perfect lineup to unlock the most potential out of this team. Oh, this is his high school numbers. Never mind. I got excited. I thought Grady Emerson just like vaporized everything, but he did not. Which is fine. Salvador is still an extreme development list. That's a bummer. I'd like him to be less extreme if he could. Troubling. But that concludes our episode, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please remember to like the video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. It helps the channel. But until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.